What up, family? Welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. It's me, your favorite cousin, your favorite uncle, your favorite father, your favorite brother, your best friend's best friend, Dr. Larry Smith. And once again, welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new, I am Dr. Larry Smith. I am a certified life and spiritual coach, amongst other things. And I'm also currently in courses to become more of a master coach than I was before. So I'm growing myself. My business is Live For You Coaching. You can actually find more about my business at www.liveforyoucoaching.com. If you want to know more about me, that's www.liveforyoucoaching.com. You can also just subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to always come here and keep it real in this safe space, in this positive place. We're going to always come here and keep it real and learn and grow and entertain all kinds of things here. So you can subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button while you're watching this video, or you can just follow me on social media at Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and on Facebook. So all over the place you can find me. But I want to dive right into this subject like ASAP. Okay, Derrick Jaxn. I've been all on social media, on Instagram, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the news, on the YouTube, all over. Everybody's talking about Derrick Jaxn's fall from grace, and he's a fraud, and oh my God. Now, I'm going to say from the jump, I don't listen to Derrick Jaxn. I don't really watch his videos. I don't subscribe to his channel. I don't follow him on any social media, but I do know who he is. He's a dark-skinned brother you genuinely see sitting in his car giving advice to women about men, and giving men advice on how to be better men and all of this stuff. Well, allegedly he had mistresses and had affairs on his wife, while at the same time he was giving advice that men who cheat on their wives aren't good men, are boys, and all of this other, saintly stuff as a man advice. And so people are saying you were fraud because you were telling us one thing while you were doing something else. And then he gets on social media with his wife, allegedly wearing a bonnet and all this other stuff, with the intent to make it better, the intent to explain the situation, with the intent to make it better, the intent to explain, mansplain everything, and his wife there at his side to support him. And so, he does that, and the backlash just continues from that, because that's scrutinized. And I think his initial response was to say it wasn't true, and then he had to come out and disclose that it was true. So he lied and then told the truth about what he lied about all this time, doing all of this stuff. And then it got so bad that there was heat on his wife because of how she looked and her appearance, and she got on and through religion and speaking through her faith, she said, there's spiritual warfare, we're fighting and we're working, I forgive, more damage control for her. So now it just seems like damage control. Now, the reason why all of the damage control is happening is because from his clips, from his Instagram stuff, from his YouTube channel, and all the advice that he was given, he garnered a lot of attention. He wrote books. He did speaking engagements. I think he had a deal or something with T.D. Jakes that I had heard, Bishop T.D. Jakes, that I had heard in the wind. But like I said, I don't know much about him. I really, truth be told, all of this stuff that I'm talking about, I got fairly recently, within the last week, of all of the scandal that's been going on around this stuff, and hearing it all on social media. And the only reason why I'm even posting something on my YouTube about it is because people have been mentioning it in my social media and mentioning it on, and even just wanted me to talk about this situation from my perspective of it all. And that's fine. I don't mind doing that. But my perspective is different. I'm not here to bash him at all. I'm not here to bash Derrick Jaxn, because I feel like he's endured that enough. That is enough of that. That's not a healthy response to continue to do. Yes, you did what you did, and people are feeling a certain kind of way, and people are entitled to feel as though he deceived them. But at the end of the day, there comes a time when we turn the page, right? We turn the page to forgiveness and to reconciliation. We'll get there in just a second. So here's the thing. I think what happens sometimes is we take people, average, ordinary people, and we put them on a pedestal. And I said this on Instagram one day last week or something, that we put them on a pedestal so high that it hurts them if they fall down. because they're so high from the ground. And I said we don't need to do that. We don't need to put people that high, but we've seen it happen multiple times. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, James Brown, the list goes, Elvis Presley, the list goes on and on of people we have saw go up, Kanye West, and we watch them fall, and we get just as much enjoyment in watching them fall as we watch them going up to the top in celebration. We celebrate the fall as well. And I think I think we do that for whatever reason, especially when it's somebody who seems like us, who we can relate to. We like to see the underdog win, but we also like to see the man on top falls down. And so that's a very complex, complicated thing we have as humans, in that we will hold you up to rise you, and we will let you go and fall when you make mistakes. And we aren't really that forgiving about mistakes. And I'll attach my video, my recent upload about forgiveness, because forgiveness is super important. It really, really is. And so I think with Derrick Jaxn, because of the nature of the advice that he was given, and people saw him as the good man, the good guy, they wanted him to be that guy forever. And when they found out he wasn't that guy, it was a personal hurt. And like I said, people are entitled to feel that way, because this is the image you set up, which segues me into my next point. When you're a social media influencer, when you get on here and you do this, exactly what I'm doing right now, people look to you, people listen to you, people take to you, and people have expectations of you. And I think this should be said directly to my social media people, my people on YouTube, and my people who are even in the public eye as a celebrity or an athlete or whatever, an influencer. Don't put yourself to a place to where you can't fail. You guys know me. If you come here often, you know I am very transparent of my good qualities, and I'm very transparent of my bad qualities. I say that my experience, what I'm telling you as a life coach, is things that I'm walking through myself. It's things that I'm using to grow and cultivate myself. And so as I walk through it and as I grow, which is a continual process, I'm hoping to share with you my journey. My falls, my fails, my successes, my wins, I'm sharing it all in full transparency. I am not at all a perfect peach. I have fallen many times, and I get back up and try again, and I might fall again and I get back up and I try again, and I'm full disclosure of authenticity, sharing it with you guys. So I don't want anybody to think I'm beyond retribution and beyond reproach, and I am a person who never fails. I fail all the time. The thing is, that's an opportunity for growth for me. I take it in, I don't dwell in it, and I grow. You know, you guys know, I've said this in multiple videos, my biggest success, my biggest skill, my biggest strength is my mouth. But my biggest weakness, my biggest failure is my mouth. So I work on that all day long, through prayer, through meditation, through understanding, through reading, through learning, through engagement, through trying. And so influencers, just because you're calling yourself an influence, don't influence people in the way that you think you want to be perceived. Influence them in the way that you are. If you're a failure, if you're flawed, if you've done things wrong, if you make mistakes, say it. It's okay. I believe people will appreciate the authenticity, because they can really relate to you when you're being your authentic, truthful, holistic self. So don't try to put on airs. I don't understand why people do that anyway. I think people should just be who they are. At the end of the day, you know, I am a nerd who just happens to be kind of cool, who just happens to like all kinds of cool, interesting things like reality TV and all kinds of hip hop music and rock music and pop music. And I happen to be someone who I think am kind of good looking, and I, you know, like to get on camera and talk very well. I'm a historian, I'm a theologian, I got degrees, I'm learning foreign exchange, I'm a realtor, I do a lot of things. Those are all things who I am, and I'm not always successful at all of them, but I try and I fail and I gain and I learn and I teach. That is what I do. That is who we are. So be you. Don't be who you think people want you to be. Be yourself. But we also got to stop putting people on pedestals. We got to stop giving people this identity to where they have to continue to feed into who we perceive them to be. Because when they fail, it does hurt our soul. So stop doing that. So influencers, stop living the lie. And everybody else, stop forcing them to create the lie to make you happy. Accept who people are. and accept that people might make mistakes. It's human. You're human. If you can make mistakes, every other human can make mistakes. No one's above making any type of mistakes. Even somebody who is a relationship expert, which is a weird word for me, relationship expert. Relationships are hard. So if you're an expert at it, you're pretty damn solid. And I don't think nobody is, because it's a different challenge every day. We're all relationship students. We're all life students. We're learning from this thing called life. And so if you keep that constantly in your mind, that you're just a student of life, students fail, students pass. That is what we do. And we all are capable of doing the exact same thing. Now, that's not to say people don't have skills and people don't learn things and can do stuff better than each other, that we're all on the same page and equal in everything in life. That's not the case. But what we all share equally is our humanity. And we got to keep that at the forefront of everything we do. And so I think Derrick Jaxn kind of got beside himself for a while, and then he's been knocked down. And I know this falls have to be hard, because it not only will affect his livelihood, but I'm pretty sure it's going to affect his credibility, because people are going to look at him and be like, but you did this. But if we're smart, if he's smart, maybe he can use this as a redemption to say, you know what, I failed. Here's my healing story. Because he's going to have to heal and get through this and grow from this and become a better person, to not put himself where he thought he should be, or where people wanted him to be, what he was doing before. So, but that segues into my last point: forgiveness. Forgiveness. Yeah. That's that forgiveness. It's a 3-syllable word that we sometimes don't want to have for people, especially in this moment of cancel culture, where if you do wrong one time, I'm done with you. If you do something that I don't like, I'm done with you. If you do something I disagree with, I am done with you. I am done with that. Because I believe it's not fully done in a logical, commonsensical way. Yes, some people do things that you have to say, okay, that's too much for me to continue to rock with you. But at the end of the day, it has to be done in a way to where you think about the person and not just the act. And you think about the totality of the person's life and not just the act. You think about the person's art. You may think about the person's business. You might think about a bunch of things, but you need to think about it. You can't be a cancel culture vulture in the whole entire thing and just canceling everybody and not doing it in a logical way. So we got to logically think about this before we start canceling, because next thing you know, there'll be nothing to do, because everything's going to be canceled. So we got to logically think our way through this. Don't cancel illogically. Think about it. Put some thought into it deeper than just saying bye. See ya. So forgiveness. Derrick Jaxn can come from this. And we got to give him the opportunity to come from this and to heal from this. We cannot dismiss him so greatly, because he hadn't done anything to the level of where I think forgiveness is not an option. He presented what he thought he needed to be for y'all, but the flawed person in himself couldn't keep up with his own words. And so he failed. But we should allow him to learn from the bump on his head. We should allow him to learn from the bruises and be able to grow and be a better person. So we got to forgive people. We got to get to a place where we start to say, okay, is this person now gotten the lesson? I don't know. I hadn't been watching yet. We're probably still waiting for that from him to see how he goes from that. But hopefully one day he does get it. And if not, he doesn't. Then we can forgive him then we can cancel him forever. But give people the opportunity to get redemption and forgiveness. And not to go all biblical and all spiritual, but for those of you who believe in God, as I do, God is a forgiver. We are not even worthy of the forgiveness of the Creator. We are not worthy to be able to continue to make mistakes, as we will always do. But we're allowed to continue to make our mistakes. And we're allowed to grow and become a better person. Don't hold anybody to who they were in the past if they're trying to show you something different today in the present. We've got to learn to let people grow and become better. And we've got to learn to accept them in their growth and as that better person. We don't have any other option but to do that. So I believe that maybe Derrick Jaxn can do that, should he choose to. but we have to give him the grace to be able to do that. So like I said, this conversation wasn't going to be me bashing him. He's been bashed a lot through the media, rightly so. Many people feel deceived, but like I said, I didn't follow him, so I didn't feel deceived. I have a thing about people, you know, who present themselves in a way that they're not. If you talk to me in the streets, like if you're a friend of mine or if you meet me on the streets, this is who you get. This is who you get. I'm very real. See, you see me here for 15, 20 something minutes every so often. You see me head up. You don't see me leg down because I ain't wearing any pants. Or am I? But anyway, I might not be. I may, who knows, whatever. That's irrelevant because all you're seeing me is here. But at the end of the day, what you're going to see is what you're going to get. I have a silly, witty sense of humor. I have a smart mouth. I can be biting sometimes, but I'm also very witty and intelligent on a whole bunch of subjects, and I'm kind of nerdy, but I'm actually kind of cool. Yeah, that's who I am, and I don't intend to ever change that because I'm comfortable. And most people who actually like me because of all those things: my honesty, my truth, my authenticity, my realness, my not trying to play up to the Joneses and be something that I am not. I am who I am. Like me or love me, it doesn't even matter. You don't even have to like this video. Okay, like the video. Go subscribe. But either way, we have to learn to live in our authentic truth. However comfortable it is for us, and however uncomfortable it might be for other people, that's not your problem. That ain't your jam. Your jam is to be authentic and truthful to who you are. And if Derrick Jaxn had been doing that from the very beginning, he would not be in the predicament, the pickle that he is in right now, because he spent so much time trying to be something, an image he's not, and at the same time condemning others for not living up to an image that he wasn't himself even living up to. It's chaotic and crazy, but it's what people do. And we put them on the pedestal, and we give them the ammunition and the appreciation and the adoration to do that, and then when they fail, we're hurt. And we're sad. We got to stop doing that. And we got to forgive. We got to allow people the grace to be able to get redemption and restoration and come back to being who they are intended to be, because we all make mistakes. So yes, Derrick Jaxn made a big mistake. But is it unforgivable? No. And even in cancel culture, is it unforgivable? No. Because what we're going to do is we're going to grow from his example, and hopefully what we learn from him is to be authentic, to be true to who you are, to live in your truth. Don't dance for other people, dance for the beat of your own drum. Be who you are. People are going to like you. If they're going to like you, they're going to hate you, they're going to hate you. You shouldn't care about either one. Yes, it's good to have people like you, but hey, thank you. And yes, it's good to have people who don't like you. Hey, thank you. Thank you, haters. As long as you're being authentic to yourself, you're going to be able to fully express and fully be who you are. And Spirit, Source, God, the universe can use you in your full capacity when you are being your authentic, true self. That is the only way to manifest your gifts. That is the only way to live in the highest possible of your potential, is when you're being authentic and true and manifesting in that truth and living from that authenticity. You are a vessel that is being used the way you were created to be used, and Spirit, the energy, God, the universe, Source is going to be able to use you to your full potential. But the only way that can happen is if you're being true to yourself. So what we learned from Derrick Jaxn is nothing that came out of his mouth was true, but his example of rising and falling because of his own doing teaches us to just be true to yourself. Love yourself, love your neighbors. I always say this in every video. I love you. I genuinely mean that. Love yourself first enough to be you. That's it. I'll see you in the next video.